Dead by Daylight has a lot of iconic killers on their roster. Some of the scariest, most cruel, brutal, and violent killers in the history of the horror genre. Since I was a young kid, I've been addicted to horror films, and each year during the Halloween season, I put on a marathon of all the classic scary movies that have ever hit the silver screens of Hollywood. So after decades of time to watch and study what makes a truly menacing and evil killer, I wanted to share my wish list of killers that I would like to see brought into the game. As the video goes along, I want you to think if they would be fun to go against or play as when you step into the fog. Since The Walking Dead is joining the trials of Dead by Daylight, the first killer I would really want to see join the fog is the ruthless, cunning, cutthroat, and silver-tongued devil, Negan, the leader of the Saviors. He led other communities with an iron fist, making them find supplies and taking whatever he wanted from them to make his life easier for his people. His weapon of choice was a barbed wire baseball bat named Lucille, which he used as a means of instilling fear towards anyone he felt like through brutal acts. He's a strategist who plans ahead with intelligence. He can also anticipate challenges and can devise plans to overcome them. The map I would choose for this killer would be at the headquarters of the Saviors, which was called the Sanctuary. It was a fortified factory complex with sturdy walls that made it a defensible location against walkers and any other threat. I came up with 3 unique perks I would have for Negan. The first perk is called the Extort. Years of extorting communities for food and supplies, Negan has mastered the art form of making his target feel extreme paralyzing fear. For each tier, after chasing a survivor for 20, 15, and 10 seconds and injuring them, it will cause the survivor to drop their item with no charges lost, half its charges lost, and all its charges lost. The second perk I came up with for Negan is called Hex Bad Vibrations. Whenever Negan is close to anybody he's not an ally with, his presence becomes suffocating and causes extreme anxiety and fear. For each tier, when any survivor is working on a generator, skill checks pop up every 5, 3, and 2 seconds with no warning. The last perk I came up with for Negan is called Lucille's Wrath. Whenever Negan enters the fog, survivors fear the barbed wire baseball bat almost more than they fear Negan himself. Tier 1. Any survivor who gets injured by Lucille earlier in the match and is healthy while doing a generator and misses a skill check becomes injured. Tier 2. Any survivor who gets injured by Lucille earlier in the match and is injured while doing a generator and misses a skill check will be put into the dying state. Tier 3. Any survivor who gets injured by Lucille earlier in the match and is injured while doing a generator and misses a skill check will not only be put into the dying state, but will also have their aura blocked from other survivors for 40 seconds. Now for Negan's Mori. I think it's quite obvious that it needs to be from his most famous kill ever. And that kill, in my opinion, was when he brutally and maliciously killed Glenn. I think it would be pretty crazy to see each survivor getting completely wrecked by Lucille with their head caved in and their eye popping out. The next killer I wish would step into the fog is a cyborg assassin who was sent back in time from the year 2029 to 1984 in Los Angeles, California. It is primarily composed of a hyperalloy endoskeleton covered in living tissue. The endoskeleton, which provides the cyborg strength and durability, is made up of a strong metallic alloy. The Terminator was programmed to hunt down and assassinate a woman by the name of Sarah Connor. This was the Terminator's primary objective because Sarah Connor would end up giving birth to John Connor, who would grow up to become the leader of the human resistance, who's the biggest threat to defeating the empire of robotic Terminators. The map I would choose for this killer will be set in future Los Angeles, a desolate, war-torn urban landscape with minimal lighting, creating an eerie and spine-tingling atmosphere. A wide open city with buildings left in ruins, cars abandoned, with human skulls littered throughout the streets. I came up with 3 unique perks I would use for the Terminator. The first perk is called Seek and Destroy. Skynet's advanced and accelerated technology has given the Terminator a tremendously enhanced tracking system, making hunting its prey easier. For each tier, when standing still for 5, 4, and 3 seconds, the Terminator's tracking system powers up, giving it heat signatures of survivors anywhere on the map for 3, 4, and 5 seconds. The second perk is called Particle Relocation. The entity shines upon you, strengthening your technological capabilities, allowing you to unlock a hidden section in your CPU to be able to teleport teleport from location to location in seconds. For each tier, after hitting a survivor with a basic attack, the T-800 teleportation module activates and you can teleport to anywhere on the map. Each tier has a cooldown of 30, 25, and 20 seconds. The third perk is called Momentum Accelerator. The persistent dedication the Terminator has to finishing its objective is one of the deadliest parts of it, never stopping and always focused on the mission to its very end. For each tier, every time a survivor is put into the dying state, gain 5, 6, and 7% haste for 6, 7, and 8 seconds. Now for the Terminator's Mori. I went through a bunch of scenes from the original movie and came up with a pretty lethal Mori that will leave any survivor in a bloody, disgusting mess. So I think it would be really awesome if the T-800 would start the Mori by blowing away the survivor with a Spaz 12 shotgun, sending the survivor through a TNL wall, then picking them up above his head and ripping their heart out, dropping them to the ground before ending the Mori with a few bullets in the body with a laser-sighted AMT Hardballer 45 long slide pistol before walking away to find his next target. The third killer on my wish list, it appears as a faint black aura, almost invisible, and can be seen better through night vision. It is one of the best jump scare killers ever made. It is the primary antagonist of this extremely popular video game. The killer I am referring to comes from the Mount Massive mental asylum, controlled by its host, William Billy Hope, all made possible through Murkoff Corporation. It is known to be demonic in nature that torments unsuspecting sleepers. It is physically powerful and able to kill if it so chooses. This killer goes by the name of the Walrider. The map I would choose for this killer will be set in the forest alongside the long driveway that leads to the entrance of the asylum. This is exactly the setting that has the eerie vibes you want when you're creeping up on survivors. The forest then leads to another area by a fountain and a large set of scaffolding, and back through a broken gate that leads back to the front area of the asylum. I came up with 3 unique perks for the Walrider. The first perk is called Ocular Misconception. Intensive and intrusive experiments have given the Walrider some dark and twisted abilities. One specific ability allows the Walrider to forcefully enter a survivor's body and manipulate it how it wants. For each tier, when within a 15, 20, and 25 meter range of a survivor repairing a generator, you can enter their body and force the survivor to see multiple skill checks on the screen at once whenever a skill check pops up. The second perk is called Obscure Presence. Similar to the fog, your appearance is undetectable, only showing a faint black aura, nearly invisible to the human eye. While in chase with a survivor, you are able to go under or over a drop pallet. For each tier, you traverse the pallet in 3, 2, and 1 seconds. This perk has a cooldown of 25, 20, and 15 seconds. The third perk is called Kinetic Shifting. The thousands of nanites which make up the Walrider give it exceptional speed and can also take flight at a moment's notice. Each time a survivor is hooked, gain a token up to a maximum of 6 tokens at a time. While in chase, you can vault windows and cover distances extremely fast, enabling the Walrider to close the gap on survivors at a rapid pace. Each token covers 4 feet of area, but can only use 3 tokens per chase. Now for the Mori. It's a fast one. The Walrider forcefully enters the survivor's body within a second or two and explodes it, leaving it in pieces. The next killer on my wish list is part of the Yautja species. He is a technologically advanced extraterrestrial hunter who lives for the thrill of the kill. This killer is part of the Jungle Hunter clan, which is known for hunting in jungle environments. A very smart, patient, and lethal killer. One that you really need to keep your head on a swivel for. Its weapons of choice are a wrist blade, a shoulder-mounted plasma caster, and a self-destruct device. He also utilizes a cloaking device for hiding in plain sight, has enhanced vision and communication from its bio helmet, known universally to any action sci-fi horror fan as the Predator. The map I would choose for this killer will be set in the Mexican jungle near Puerto Vallarta. This is the perfect hunting ground for the Predator. So many hiding spaces and locations to jump scare survivors. A dense environment full of exotic trees and vines, making it hard to traverse through the muddy grounds, which would really have survivors in a vulnerable position. I came up with 3 unique perks for this killer. The first perk is called Technical Annoyance. Your advanced set of technical skills have given you the insight to excel or hinder any machine's production output. For every 2 down survivors, gain a token up to a maximum of 7 tokens. For each token, the Predator can instill a cloaking device on a generator. That generator will be blocked from the sight of any survivor, making it blend into its environment. The generator will stay cloaked until it has been worked on for 15 seconds. No survivor perk can counter this. this. The second perk is called Eagle Eye. Your patience as a hunter has given you time and space to secure positioning on your target without them having any idea you're around. For each tier, you are able to climb trees, scale structures and buildings, and have no terror radius for 30, 35, and 40 seconds. This perk has a cooldown of 50 seconds. The third perk is called Hex Hidden Chase. Hiding in plain sight comes second nature to you. For each tier, every time you lose a survivor in a chase, your Hex totem becomes active, causing the survivor to scream and reveal their aura for 4, 5, and 6 seconds. After the aura is being done revealed, your Hex totem becomes dull again, hiding its location. Now it's time for the Mori. The Predator is all about getting a trophy after they have killed their target. Once the survivor is within distance, the plasma caster locks on its target, blowing a huge hole through the survivor's body, causing it to collapse to the ground. The Predator then walks towards the corpse, bending down and ripping its skull and spine from the body. The next killer on my wish list is a supernatural creature with nebulously defined characteristics and abilities. When he appears, he is dressed in a black suit, white shirt, and a black tie. His face is blank with no facial features. When he has been seen and caught on video, he is around 6 to 7 feet tall. The Tulpa theory suggests the more you talk and think about this being, the more powerful and real he becomes. This killer's name is the Slenderman. The map I would choose for this killer will be based in a dilapidated and desolate location, the foggy and eerie graveyard, close to a wooded area full of bushes and trees at night with minimal lighting coming from the moon. This works well for the Slenderman to blend in with trees, causing paranoia, confusion, while creeping in the shadows preparing to attack. I came up with 3 unique perks for this killer. The first perk is called False Perception. Your mere presence instills not only fear, but an overcoming paralyzation and confusion. For each tier, hitting a survivor with a basic attack will cause the survivor to see 4, 5, and 6 illusionary figures around them within 3 seconds of being hit. You also gain 2, 3, and 4% haste for 5 seconds. The second perk is called In the Shadows. Your ability to blend into your surroundings has given you an insidious and unnerving effect. After downing and hooking a survivor, all survivors doing any objective are exposed for 30 seconds and have their aura revealed for 6 seconds. You also gain the undetectable status for the duration the survivors are exposed. This perk has a cooldown of 60 seconds. The third perk is called Look at Me. When a survivor looks directly at you, your presence causes negative psychological effects, such as nightmares, delusions, and sometimes blackouts. When a survivor looks at you for 2 seconds, gain a token up to a maximum of 8 tokens. While in chase, you can activate 2 tokens, and the survivor you're chasing will have their vision turned extremely dizzy and partially blacked out for 2 seconds. Only 2 tokens per chase may be activated. Now for the Mori. After the Slenderman has defeated his prey and left with barely any life, he creeps up behind them, having his tentacles shoot from within him, grabbing every limb, twisting them around, causing immense pain, dragging the survivor's body backwards towards a tall tree, tightening his grip, covering the survivor's complete body until there's no screams echoing and no trace of human left, and the body is now one with the tree. So out of these 5 killers, if you could pick just one, which killer would you like to see step into the fog? Also, what was your favorite perk? Let me know down in the comments and I'll feature it in a future video. In addition, would you like to see me do a survivor wish list? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe. And if you're looking for a build to counter these nightmarish killers, check out this video all about the best builds in Dead by Daylight. Thanks for watching.